Part 31. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 301. When Qin Feng heard this, he was very happy. He immediately hit the snake and put it on the stick, saying, "Hello, senior brother, please accept my respects from my junior brother." Qin Feng gave a slight salute, which instantly impressed Zhu Luo. If he recovers part of his cultivation, he can recommend his disciples to participate in the Inner Sect Power Conference as long as he proves himself. As an elder of the Inner Sect, Qin Feng became his junior brother, so naturally he was affiliated with him. Since the two of them have the same master, Qin Feng has become a disciple of Suzaku Holy Land. Zhu Luo's move was to teach skills on behalf of his master, although Qin Feng did not need him to teach him skills at all. "Senior brother, take the elixir quickly and see how things go," Qin Feng urged Zhu Luo. This 9-turn resurrection pill had cured his father's injury. After all, Zhu Luo has a higher level of cultivation, so the efficacy of his medicine may not be comparable to what it was at that time, and would be greatly reduced. Good. Zhu Luo was very solemn. He came to the training room and swallowed the pill. The world here was full of spiritual energy and had the spirit gathering formation arranged by Qin Feng. Soon after, Zhu Luo's aura increased, and the modeled true energy was discharged from his body. Then, a few inaudible black smoke curled up, and was refined by his own divine fire. Base. The monks of Zhu Luo rose with the tide, and in an instant he broke through the shackles and reached the 9th level of moving mountains. However, the realm can only reach the 9th heaven. After all, the efficacy of the medicine is not enough. To reach the realm of Zula in cultivation, the efficacy of the medicine required to improve the realm is massive. How can the elixir cure his hidden injuries? Very powerful. However, this also gives him the possibility to advance. I believe that he will become a monk in the realm of divine illumination in the near future. Brother, you don't seem very happy. Qin Feng saw the anger on Zhu Luo's face and asked. The black smoke I burned just now was definitely poisoned secretly. Zhu Luo said coldly, which made him very angry. Does senior brother have anyone to suspect? Yes, but we are not sure yet. We can only put this matter aside for the time being. You can follow me for the identity verification and become an inner disciple of Suzaku Holy Land. Okay, thank you very much, senior brother. Qin Feng left this place with Zhu Luo and the two women to apply for identity authentication. In the Suzaku temple, the lord of the Suzaku, who was sitting on the main throne, when he heard that Qin Feng was going to become the true disciple of the Suzaku Holy Land, he immediately sent someone to give instructions, giving the green light all the way. Qin Feng directly became a true disciple. He did not even participate in the trial of a true disciple before becoming a true disciple. Now that he has become an inner disciple of the Suzaku Holy Land, Qin Feng no longer needs to live in the small courtyard. He is arranged in the palace where true disciples live exclusively. The environment here is quiet, full of spiritual energy, and the buildings are luxurious and spacious. It is many times more sacred than the small courtyard. Hey, you heard, Qin Feng became an inner disciple. I'll go. It's said that Qin Feng didn't even participate in the inner disciples trial, so he directly became an inner disciple, and he didn't enter the inner disciple as a disciple of a certain elder. So, the Suzaku Holy Land has long planned to take over Qin Feng. In the Suzaku Holy Land, countless outer disciples were talking about it. Qin Feng jumped directly over the outer sect and became a disciple of the inner sect, which made countless people envious. I heard that Qin Feng was recommended by Elder Zhu Luo. Doesn't it mean that Elder Zhu Luo can't recommend inner disciples until his injury is cured? Some people are very confused. Perhaps the reason is that Zuk Holy Land has long wanted to take Qin Feng under its sect, and Zhu Luo's recommendation is just a cover. Of course, they also know that Qin Feng has long been famous. He deserves to be an inner disciple, and not everyone can compare with Qin Feng. Brother Zhu, what on earth is going on? In the palace of Suzaku Holy Land, the head of the Xia family once again approached the Holy Master of Suzaku Holy Land. He was very dissatisfied with the fact that Qin Feng was accepted as an inner disciple. After all, if Qin Feng hugs the lap of Suzaku Holy Land, it will be very difficult to kill Qin Feng. Brother Xia, don't worry. Qin Feng is very talented. Some elders recommended him to become an inner disciple. However, it is normal for the younger generation of disciples to compete. If he is killed, we will not have any complaints. The Holy Lord of the Suzaku Holy Land smiled lightly. Qin Feng's performance was very extraordinary, but if he was killed in the power conference, it would mean that Qin Feng was not worthy of their vigorous training, and there would be no loss to the Holy Land. As for the young people competing, it is extremely common. If they fall in the battle of life and death, the elders will not be able to say anything. However, if the head of the Xia family personally takes action to kill Qin Feng, then the Holy Lord of the Suzaku Holy Land will never sit idly by and ignore it. Very good. With Brother Zhu's words, I feel relieved. The head of the Xia family said that what he wanted was these words from the Lord Suzaku. Otherwise, if Qin Feng could not be killed, it would really make the Xia family look bad. The Holy Lord's birthday will begin 3 days later. The Holy Lord's 800th birthday is a huge event, and the people who come here are naturally very extraordinary. All of them are powerful families and forces in Yanbei, and some young geniuses are even carefully selected elite disciples in the section. They will receive some rewards when they come to the Suzaku Holy Land to practice. The Suzaku Holy Land has been passed down for a long time, and even the rewards revealed between the fingers are enough to last the disciples of some big forces for a lifetime. Meet the Holy Lord. Countless elders of the families and major forces respectfully greeted the Suzaku Saint Lord on the main seat. They spoke one after another and came to wish the Saint Lord a happy birthday. Suzaku Holy Land, as an ancient holy land, is far beyond the reach of ordinary major religious forces. It is one of the ancient holy lands and is extremely powerful. In Yanbei, Suzaku Holy Land is second to none, not even the Great Yan dynasty. Representatives of the major forces of the Great Yan Kingdom came, and some forces in the western border of Nanling also came to congratulate. This place is decorated with lights and is very lively. Everyone knows that these people coming to congratulate are secondary. More forces want to use the secret realm of the Suzaku Holy Land to train their own disciples and obtain some secret books and inheritances of the Holy Land. This year is different from previous years. This year is the 800th birthday of the Suzaku Saint Lord, so this year the Suzaku Holy Land is preparing to hold a grand training conference. At this moment, countless Tianjiao disciples all gathered together in the martial arts field. The martial arts arena in the Suzaku Holy Land was extremely luxurious and spectacular. Thousands of young Tianjiao monks had already gathered in the arena. This was a huge sacred mountain peak that was flattened by a peerless master with a sword. The martial arts arena was sacred and solid, and was densely covered with formations. As Qin Feng entered the martial arts arena as a true disciple, countless eyes were cast towards him. Qin Feng's name had already spread in the Suzaku Holy Land. All the monks looked at Qin Feng to see if Qin Gong was really as powerful as the rumors said, with 3 heads and 6 arms. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 302. However, these people were ultimately disappointed because Qin Feng didn't have a strong head and 6 arms. On the contrary, he looks very delicate. Compared with ordinary people, apart from being handsome and having outstanding temperament, he is no different. Facing the snake-like eyes around him, Qin Feng didn't care, but looked at the martial arts field. He found that the martial arts arena in the Suzaku Holy Land was built to a very high level, and the ground was densely covered with divine gold. The ground was blessed with runes flowing out of it, making it very solid. This place is like a small world, with inherent rules. It is obviously a mountain top, with thousands of monks gathered in it. It does not take up any space at all, and it is still extremely vast. Brush. Zuluo came from the sky, landed next to Qin Feng, and said, "This experience is different from the past. It will start in the Suzaku secret realm, and there will be a big melee. Work hard. The 10 people who win in the end will become the quasi-holy sons of the Suzaku Holy Land. I am very optimistic about you. There are dense rules here, and they will be separated to form small secret realms. The elders of the Holy Land will not participate, they will only maintain order and rescue those who abstain or lose." Zuluo told Qin Feng some precautions. He was very optimistic about Qin Feng and felt that Qin Feng had a good chance of becoming the holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land. If Qin Feng can really become the winner, then he will break the myth and compete with the quasi-holy son for the position of holy son. That was also the conference of power, the most exciting battle at the end, where the quasi-holy sons competed, and then, the holy sons were ranked. However, the only thing that is unfair to the masses is that he has not been trained by the Suzaku Holy Land, and does not have the secret method of the Suzaku Holy Land, so his strength may be slightly lacking. This time, it doesn't matter even if Qin Feng fails. As long as he can stand out among the true disciples, he can become a quasi-holy son. If you can't become the holy son this time, there will be another chance. However, Qin Feng doesn't think so. He can only succeed and cannot fail. The quasi-saint son is just his beginning. He has only one goal, and that is Suzaku. Zuluo, are you kidding me? Qin Feng is just a monk in the Yudong realm, but now some of our true disciples have reached the 6th level of mountain moving, and are even more powerful than you, the inner sect elder. He also wants to become a quasi-holy son. Aren't you afraid of making people laugh? At this moment, several more elders from the Zuk Holy Land appeared. Their voices sounded, and they all looked down on Zuluo. Zuluo was once the quasi-holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land, with qualifications and strength above them. However, it was a pity that after Zuluo was injured, his realm fell. Therefore, even if he becomes an inner sect elder, he is still one of the last. His treatment is not much better than that of an outer sect elder, and few people will think highly of him. In response, Zuluo just smiled faintly. There was no change on his face and he was very calm. You can't understand how powerful junior brother Qin Feng is. There was a faint sneer on Zuluo's face, and he had strong expectations for Qin Feng. Looking at your potential, you are worthy of being Qin Feng's senior brother. None of our inner sect elders have accepted true disciples, but you have accepted a useless peer. It is really shameful. Some elders from the inner sect were teasing lightly, looking down on Zuluo very much. Zuluo was instantly angry when he heard this. These people could look down on him for being fearless, but looking down on Qin Feng made him very dissatisfied. Buzz. At this moment, Zuluo's body was surrounded by a powerful aura, and the power of moving mountains and 9 heavens spread out, instantly shocking the elders who were laughing at him. Even Zhu Yang, who came later, was extremely shocked. Zuluo's cultivation was once at the 6th level of mountain moving, but even he couldn't compare with him. But now Zuluo's cultivation is at the 9th level of moving mountains, and he is only one step away from a breakthrough. Zuluo, you have recovered all your cultivation. How is this possible? Some elders turned pale with fear, and the momentum spread by Zuluo shocked many people. No, I have not recovered all of my cultivation. I have only recovered part of my cultivation after healing my injuries. Zuluo said lightly that it was only a matter of time before he reached the realm of divine illumination. Junior brother Zhu, is your recovery related to Qin Feng? At this time, Zhu Yang asked on the side. He was very shocked. Zuluo's cultivation has not recovered all this time, and even he became a master of alchemy and was at a loss. However, Zhu Luo's cultivation level was restored after he met Qin Feng, and everything he thought about was related to Qin Feng. In response, Zhu Luo just smiled faintly and did not respond. However, his expression, in the eyes of everyone, was undoubtedly acquiescence. Brush. At this time, the deputy Holy Lord of Suzaku Holy Land came from the sky, spreading a powerful momentum, and he was in the realm of divine illumination. Qin Feng's eyes narrowed slightly, and he felt the powerful cultivation of Shenzhou realm in the void, and felt deeply terrifying. This person is so powerful that he can kill Zhu Yang with just one palm. He has the energy to destroy the world. Qin Feng felt that unless he was in the forbidden realm, he would never be able to take the opponent's two moves. However, if Pangu's foot is used, the opponent will be vulnerable. Of course, this Pangu's foot is what Qin Feng relies on, and he will never use it unless it is absolutely necessary. Senior brother, who is this person? Qin Feng asked Zhu Luo, who was standing aside. This man had outstanding momentum and definitely held a high position in the Holy Land. He is the deputy Holy Master of our Suzaku Holy Land, and his strength is unimaginable. Zhu Luo explained to Qin Feng that after all, there is only one Holy Lord of a Holy Land, but there are more than one deputy Holy Lord. All those who can become the Holy Lord of the Holy Land are outstanding people in their youth, and their cultivation is extremely powerful, which is the foundation of the Holy Land. Everyone, the power conference officially begins, the first elimination match. At this time, the Deputy Holy Lord of the Suzaku Holy Land gave an order, and the power conference officially began. Swish. At this time, there were already tens of thousands of cultivators in the martial arts field. The elders who guarded the order were left behind, and the rest of the elders flew away. In addition to the true disciples of the Suzaku Holy Land, there were also young geniuses from other major forces, sects, and schools outside to participate. This is definitely an extremely lively event, where you can compete with countless good players. Similarly, it can also give some genius cultivators the opportunity to enter the Suzaku Holy Land for cultivation. This power conference can also select many talents for the Suzaku Holy Land, and it can also allow other powerful cultivators to gain experience. More importantly, if you perform well in the power conference, you can get very generous rewards and rise straight from then on. At this moment, the field was full of light, and on the huge mountain martial arts arena, formations began to rise and interweave. In an instant, this huge martial arts arena was divided into two areas, each with thousands of cultivators, and the elimination round officially began. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 303. These two areas are each divided into 8 areas, divided into inner gates and outer gates. Qin Feng was assigned to the area of the inner gate. There were only a few hundred people in this area, but all of them were masters, which made Qin Feng feel like a man on his back. The outer disciples are competing in other areas. They have to go through many challenges and finally win, in order to compete with the true disciples. Qin Feng's fiery eyes wanted to see through the regional barrier, but suddenly found himself disappointed. This formation could block his fiery eyes, as if he were standing in a separate small world. Only the sky can reflect some of the scenes in the auditorium of the martial arts arena here. The laws of internal movement here are like a small world. Brush. A pair of cold eyes penetrated the void and looked at where Qin Feng was, with murderous intent surging. This person is extremely powerful and powerful. He is wearing a gold-lined jade robe. He is the Xia family's peerless genius, Xia Tenglong. This person is the genius of the Xia family, the number one among the younger generation, and his cultivation has reached the 6th level of heaven. You must know that he is a true genius, and he is also a god, and his strength is extremely strong. This time, he went to the Suzaku Holy Land to practice. On the one hand, he wanted to practice, and on the other hand, he wanted to become the quasi-holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land. Once he can become the quasi-holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land, his status will also rise. At the same time, the Xia family also used his status as the quasi-holy son to gain endless opportunities. With the backing of the ancient Holy Land, the Xia family could crush other aristocratic families in the Great Yan Kingdom. Qin Feng monster can only blame you for your bad luck and meeting me. Xia Tenglong sneered, and when he looked at Qin Feng's direction, an icy cold light emitted. We, the Xia family of the Great Yan Kingdom, possess tyrannical strength. You, a small role, can provoke someone. You can't even think of walking out of the martial arts arena alive today. After Xia Tenglong finished speaking, he stared at Qin Feng. The strength of the other party's fourth level of imagination made him sneer. Among the younger generation of the Xia family, his strength is enough to rank first, and he is a true genius, with a strong edge all over his body. For a moment, a vacuum appeared around him. Countless monks were uneasy facing him and immediately stayed away from him. At this moment, Qin Feng's whole body was intertwined with energy, and he burst out with earth-shattering energy. He was happy and fearless, and the corners of his mouth curved slightly, saying, "It seems that your Xia family still doesn't understand, and you actually dare to send people to die. It's really act recklessly." Qin Feng curled his lips and was very disdainful. At this time, the head of the Xia family still couldn't understand clearly. He really didn't know what to say. Then, the two people showed their sharpness and attracted countless eyes in an instant. In an instant, their surroundings became empty. The other monks made enough space for the two of them. Why not do it if they could watch the two of them consume their divine power? Qin Feng's reputation has long spread throughout the East continent, and Xia Tenglong's reputation is also extremely loud. The battle between the two has already become the focus of this grand gathering. Brother, who do you think will win among these two? Xia Tenglong is the number one member of the Xia family. I think Xia Tenglong may win. Yes, I also support Xia Tenglong. After all, the Xia family's monks have suffered repeated losses at the hands of Qin Feng. If Xia Tenglong can't regain this face, then the Xia family won't have to mess around. In this area, countless people are talking about it, all focusing on the unprecedented battle between Qin Feng and Qin Feng. In the auditorium of the external martial arts arena, all eyes were directed towards the area where Qin Feng was, and they were also looking forward to it. The head of the Xia family and the deputy holy master of the Suzaku Holy Land were all paying attention to the area where Qin Feng was located to check on the two people's conditions. After all, this is a battle for the Xia family to regain their face, and it is also a battle to see how extraordinary Qin Feng's God King body is. In another seat in the martial arts arena, Suzaku, who was dressed in red and had red hair, was staring in the direction of Qin Feng with her beautiful eyes, looking very expectant. Qin Feng instantly felt the concerned gaze. He raised his head and looked through the void, and found Suzaku's figure in the reflected auditorium. In response, Qin Feng waved his hand with a smile on his face. After not seeing her for a long time, Zuck girl became more beautiful. Brush. Suddenly, Qin Feng felt a sharp palm wind coming from behind him. He stepped on the immortal walking step, turned around and exchanged a palm with the person. Boom! There was an earth-shattering sound. Qin Feng and Xia Tenglong exchanged blows. A loud noise was heard between the two. The space shattered inch by inch, with spiderweb-like cracks spreading. The momentum exploded and a strong wind blew. If it weren't for the blessing of the formation here, I'm afraid it would have been destroyed by the two of them in the air. The two exchanged a move and were evenly matched, standing on both sides. Qin Feng frowned, and his palms hurt slightly. He didn't expect that Xia Tenjiun would really choose the time to attack. He struck at the moment he greeted Suzaku. Although it was a bit shameless, there was nothing wrong with this in a battle between life and death. Boy, you are good, you are worthy of all my efforts. Xia Tenlong soared proudly into the air, exuding a compelling aura from his body. The moment he walked out of the bright area, it suddenly became covered with dark clouds and lightning intertwined in the void. The next moment, people noticed that Xia Tenjian's aura had changed. His Taoist robes swayed, and a pair of silver wings with scales suddenly appeared behind him. As the silver wings spread out, the void was covered in an instant, and the terrifying black light of murderous intent swept through, as if the devil were coming. Qin Feng frowned slightly. He really didn't see what kind of bloodline Xia Tenjian had. The other party seemed to have an extremely powerful body, but it was very rare for a flesh body to grow wings directly like this. At this moment, Qin Feng's body was also shining, and the vision of the God King bloomed behind him. A bright moon rose in the sky, and the true energy swept the world, illuminating this area. The inner disciples around were all shocked. They had to use their true energy to counter Qin Feng's pressure. The God King's momentum was strong, and the pressure that bloomed was earth-shaking, making people face it as if facing the power of heaven and earth. The true disciples watching the battle around them concentrated slightly. Qin Feng's vision of the God King was indeed extraordinary, which made them very concerned. However, Xia Tenglong's vision was also very extraordinary, which made them terrified. It's the Yaksha's magical power. Xia Tenglong's divine body is the silver-winged Yaksha. At this moment, countless people in the area were stunned, and even countless elders in the Suzaku Holy Land martial arts arena were very shocked. The silver-winged Yaksha is the legendary demon body. I didn't expect that Xia Tenglong actually had such a physique, enough to fight against Qin Feng's divine king body. In the audience, the head of the Xia family nodded with satisfaction, and a cold smile bloomed on his face. Qin Feng would definitely not leave the martial arts arena alive. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 304. Xia Tenglong's black hair fluttered, almost tearing the world apart. His wings vibrated behind him, spreading a terrifying divine power. Qin Feng's heart trembled. Xia Tenglong's blood was vigorous, and the silver light and black light around him were shouting, like a demon king coming to the world, and his power was no weaker than Qin Yi. Swish! Xia Tenglong waved his wings behind him, and the bright light illuminated the world, echoing over the sky of this secret world, slashing towards Qin Feng, and the void was trembling, spreading a terrible wave. Dang! Qin Feng waved his palm to meet it, the vision of the God King surged, and the God King seal collided with the opponent's light blade, making a deafening sound. Bang! Xia Tenglong attacked again, his power was terrible, and the light blade was like a sky knife, slashing down, with a terrifying momentum. Qin Feng fought with the God King seal with his bare hands, bursting out a sky-high energy wave, spreading a terrible ripple. Some inner disciples and outsiders were all horrified and pale, and doubts spread in their hearts. The two were too strong. However, the only thing that is gratifying is that at the beginning of the melee, the two powerful people faced each other. The confrontation between the two divine bodies was like a needle against a wheat spike, which was extremely terrifying. There is no doubt that the confrontation between the two in this area will consume a lot of divine power. If the two can both lose at the last moment, it will be an advantage for others. The God King seal collided with the heavenly sword, and the silver energy in the void and the blue mark intertwined, blooming with brilliant light. Both of them are peerless geniuses. The monks watching around were inspired, all of them were full of blood, and the fighting spirit was surging in their hearts. Boom! In this area, a shocking sound rang out, exploding like a divine thunder. The attacks of the two caused a space crack here, and the mighty power that spread out made more than 40 geniuses around retreat and avoid their sharp edges. Puff! The light waves overflowing from Qin Feng's God King Seal and Xia Tenglong intertwined together, suppressing it like the will of heaven and earth, and the true Qi cyclone radiated in all directions. Some of the Tianjiao who had already dodged not far away once again moved away from here, fearing that they would be affected. However, there was still a true disciple who was slow, and was instantly swept by the might of the two people. His whole body was churning with blood and flew out. Puff. This disciple's cultivation reached the third level of the moving mountain realm, but at this time he could not withstand the divine power of the two people. He was seriously injured and fell to the ground. He struggled to get up, but was shocked to find that his blood was churning in his body. The might of the two people was too strong, causing him to be unable to raise his true energy and no longer have the strength to fight. Swish. Even if this disciple was very unwilling, he could not stay here, otherwise he would only fall. A flash of light passed by, and this cultivator disappeared here and was teleported to the smoky square outside the field. His heart was ups and downs, and he fell down. Hiss. In the martial arts arena, some cultivators all gasped, and many people were originally paying attention to the area where Qin Feng and his group were. The two of them just overflowed with strong wind, and they took over a true disciple who was injured and defeated, which was very surprising. The combat power shown by Qin Feng completely surpassed the strength of the fourth level of Yudong. His combat power was so strong that even the cultivators at the peak of the moving mountain realm could not compare. Qin Feng, you are really good. Xia Tenglong shouted coldly, his eyes flashing. As a cultivator of the sixth level of moving mountains, Qin Feng was able to block his attack, which was indeed enough to be proud of. Unfortunately, you met me. Xia Tenglong sneered, the silver wings behind him flapped, the silver light was surrounding, and a strong wind was spreading. Haha, in my opinion, you are not as strong as Qin Yi. Qin Feng smiled coldly, without saying much. His implication was very clear, as powerful as Qin Yi died in Qin Feng's hands, then Xia Tenglong could only follow in Qin Yi's footsteps. I hope your strength is as strong as your tone. Xia Tenglong slapped Qin Feng with a palm, and his momentum reached the peak. This palm was earth-shattering, and the strength of the sixth level of moving mountains was fully released. Among the true disciples and geniuses in this area, he was considered to be the top. Qin Feng was fearless. He swung a punch, and the God King Seal burst into a golden light that soared into the sky, and fought against Xia Tenglong. Between the two, a heavy sound wave erupted, and the space seemed to collapse, and a black hole appeared, which was incredible. Bang bang bang. Xia Tenglong's silver light was dazzling, like a demon god descending. He slapped his palm fiercely, and the silver light kept urging, covering Qin Feng below and suppressing him. Similarly, Qin Feng waved the God King Seal to fight, and the blood between the two surged, and his palms waved repeatedly, and his magic power was overwhelming. Just relying on physical confrontation, the two were evenly matched, which was unbelievable. You know, Qin Feng's body is a divine body, while the opponent's Yin Yi's body is a demon body, which is similar to the body, but Qin Feng is at the fourth level of the mind-moving realm, while Xia Tenglong is indeed at the sixth level of the moving mountains, which is more than a dozen small realms higher than Qin Feng. But in terms of the physical body, Qin Feng can make up for it, which is enough to be proud of. Qin Feng's boxing is extraordinary. Yes, Qin Feng's fists are intertwined, and the power is terrifying to the extreme. Few people of the same generation can hurt him. No wonder Qin Feng can cross the realm to fight the enemy. This palm print technique definitely has a strength bonus. He uses this palm print to be on par with Xia Tenglong. The cultivators who pay attention to the two are all talking about it. Such combat power is really shocking. The God King Seal, which is a low-grade immortal, has a strength bonus. It is displayed with Qin Feng's God King body. The divine power is so powerful that it can kill enemies across a large realm. This is the real ancient Holy Land, and the qualifications of the Holy Son. You must know that Xia Tenglong is not an ordinary person, but the proud Holy Son of the Xia family. Qin Feng can tie with him, which has proved that Qin Feng is far superior to the ordinary Holy Son of the family. On the martial arts field, Zhu Luo nodded with satisfaction. He felt that he had guessed correctly. Qin Feng had excellent qualifications and indeed had the posture to rival the Holy Son. Such qualifications can overwhelm ordinary people who can easily express themselves freely. Their fighting power is tyrannical and they are invincible. You must know that Qin Feng's state is the state of mind movement, and if he can practice in the Holy Land, and after being cultivated by the resources of the Holy Land, if his state is equal to Xia Tenglong, he may be able to beat him to pulp with just one palm. In the auditorium of the martial arts arena, the head of the Xia family looked very unsightly. Xia Tenglong, the darling of the Xia family, could not defeat Qin Feng in an instant, which made him very afraid. Qin Feng is too aloof. If he cannot be killed, he will definitely become a shocking enemy of the Xia family when he grows up in the future. By then, it will be extremely difficult to kill Qin Feng, and the entire Xia family may even be buried with him. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fa. Chapter 305. Kunpeng Fist. Suddenly, Qin Feng let out a soft roar, and his momentum soared again. The 12th yin and the sun intertwined, and Kunpeng Fist, a low-grade immortal skill, was directly blasted out, and his momentum reached the extreme. In one punch, with the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, it has its own strength bonus, making it even more terrifying. Faced with Qin Feng's punch, Xia Tenglong was naturally unwilling to be outdone. His body was covered with silver light and he suddenly swung a palm to fight Qin Feng. In an instant, Xia Tenglong's face turned pale, and his energy and blood boiled. Under this attack, he suffered a hidden loss. How is that possible? Xia Tenglong's eyes narrowed slightly, and he felt shocked in his heart. He found it incredible that the Divine King's body was fighting against the demonic body, and that he was slightly injured. His demon body is the same as Qin Feng's body, and he can crush the opponent to a great extent. How can he be defeated? Court death! Xia Tenglong yelled angrily. He had underestimated Qin Feng and had not used all his strength just now. As a result, Qin Feng's Kunpeng Fist shocked his vitality and blood, which he could not accept. As he thought slightly, the vision of Yaksha behind him became one with him. Then, his body was covered with black scales, while his wings were silver white. As Xia Tenglong's Yaksha image merged with his own, a black and silver whirlwind surged around his body. The momentum was so terrifying that the void was trembling. Clang! Xia Tenglong shook the void with one punch. With the blessing of Yaksha's demonic body, his combat power increased several times, and his aura was terrifying to the extreme. His palm was also covered with scales, like a black dragon's claw, which instantly reached into the void and shook Qin Feng's body. The body and the vision are united, which is enough to stimulate the blood in the body and superimpose the temporary strength of the physical body, just like the arrival of Yaksha, with earth-shattering power. In the area where Qin Feng and the others were, the surrounding geniuses all gasped when faced with the impression. The interweaving of silver and black light and shadow instantly attracted the attention of countless geniuses. If they faced such a demonic phenomenon, they would not be able to stop it easily. You must know that their realm is similar to Xia Tenglong. Everyone looked at Qin Feng, wanting to see how Qin Feng could resist Xia Tenglong. Little tricks. The corners of Qin Feng's mouth curved in a cold arc, and a dragon talisman suddenly appeared in the ocean of God Kings behind him. The dragon talisman floated in the sea of the God King, and instantly surged with terror. It transformed into a real dragon. The real dragon surrounds the body of the God King. In an instant, Qin Feng stood in the 9 forbidden realm, with the laws of heaven and earth surrounding him, making him feel like a God King descending. Then, Qin Feng struck towards Guy with a palm, the power of which was shocking. The Divine King seal, struck out with the power of the Divine King body and the 9 Forbiddens, instantly turned into a large mountain, with brilliant runes flowing out of the mountain, suppressing Xia Tenglong with incomparable force. Damn it, what a terrifying God King body. Qin Feng's Divine King body seems to be more extraordinary than Xia Tenglong's Yaksha. Countless geniuses were shocked by Qin Feng's powerful methods and spoke out one after another. And in the outer auditorium, it was even more lively, with countless young boys and girls, all extremely excited. There is no other reason. Qin Feng's real dragon surrounding the body of the God King is so sacred and shocking. It reflects him like a god descending to earth. Such a vision is earth-shattering and heart-shaking. Boom! Qin Feng's Divine King seal confronted Xia Tenglong, and an astonishing destructive power erupted in the void. The spreading power caused strong winds to surround the place, shaking the earth. The God King seal was displayed and collided with Xia Tenglong's claws. A whirlwind stirred up here, and the energy waves spread out in all directions. It seemed that the two of them were evenly matched again. Crack! The explosive power of the two people was really amazing. A true cyclone wind was formed here. This area originally had countless strange stone peaks to support the formation. However, at this moment, the strange stone peaks on the edge instantly collapsed, unable to withstand the terrifying and shocking destructive power of the two people. Not only that, 6 of the geniuses who had been hiding on the edge to watch the battle were seriously injured again in an instant, vomiting blood. In an instant, light flashed, and the figures of the 6 people disappeared here and were directly eliminated. Everyone around them was shocked. They originally thought that they would have a chance to win after they were both injured after watching the 2 people sit on the mountain and watch the tiger fight. But at this time, it seems that just watching the game will be affected, so how to fish in troubled waters? Maid, these 2 people are simply inhuman. You're so far away, and it's so scary to be hurt by the fluctuations of divine power. What's even more annoying is that those 2 people were completely unscathed. Countless monks were talking, cursing the 2 of them in their hearts, and some were swearing. The people on the periphery couldn't bear such a terrifying confrontation of divine power. The 2 people who were clearly at the center of the vortex of true energy were completely unharmed, which made them feel frustrated. However, Xia Tenglong didn't think so. He originally thought that his powerful method could hurt Qin Feng, but he never thought that Qin Feng's fur would not be hurt. More importantly, he is not as calm as he appears on the surface. His energy and blood are boiling, and his palms are spasming. His Yaksha demon body is not as powerful as Qin Feng's God King body, and it can't even hurt Qin Feng. Can't do it? If your skills are only like this, then you can only go so far. Qin Feng smiled slightly. The Divine King seal was just a means for him. With only visions to fight against, Xia Tenglong was far inferior to him. As for the collision between gods and bodies, Xia Tenglong is also not good at it. It is not enough to watch. It was just a test. Xia Tenglong's words were cold. His whole body was spotless and covered with scales. His silver wings were flapping and he was shrouded in a divine ring. He was extremely terrifying. Base. In Xia Tenglong's palm, a quasi-immortal sword appeared. This quasi-immortal sword was extremely thick. When he swung it violently, it tore apart the sky and the earth with its incomparable sharpness. Boom! Qin Feng thought about it, and the immortal Ruyi armor protected him and covered his fist. Then, he waved his fist and punched Kunpeng's fist, which defeated Xia Tenglong's quasi-immortal sword. At the same time, the God King was surrounded by visions, and dragon energy surrounded his body and attacked with him. Xia Tenglong's fairy sword was vibrating continuously, and the sound penetrated gold and cracked stone. Qin Feng defeated the quasi-immortal sword with his bare hands. Such power shocked even the countless monks and elders watching in the audience. Qin Feng's performance far surpassed that of ordinary geniuses, and even the elders felt threatened. At this time, even Xia Tenglong showed a shocked look. The quasi-immortal sword in his hand trembled continuously, blocking the front to block Qin Feng's Kunpeng fist. In an instant, Kunpeng fist burst out with earth-shattering power. During the collision, both of them flew backwards, suspended in the void, shaking the Holy Land. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 306. Qin Feng and Qin Feng stood on both sides, surrounded by the body of a god king. The dragon's aura was soaring. If the god king came, it seemed that he could even trample all the heavens under his feet. As for Xia Tenglong, he has a yaksha demonic body, his scales are shining with light, and heavy amounts of demonic light flow out of his body, making him look as weird as a hellish Shura. Very good, warm-up completed, I will kill you next. Qin Feng said calmly in the void. His white clothes were flying, looking ethereal and immortal, like the arrival of a god king. There was electric light intertwining between the two people, and the smell of gunpowder was very strong. Nima, did you just finish warming up? Are you still a human? The prodigies who were watching around were all shocked. The power Qin Feng showed was earth-shattering and terrifying. The other party said it was just a warm-up, which made them all feel creepy. If Qin Feng's power just now was just a warm-up, how terrifying would his combat power be? Base. At this moment, Qin Feng stood in the Nine Forbidden Realm, and the vision of the God King flowed out with a solemn aura. In the sea of God Kings around him, divine power surged, and murderous intent was compelling. In his palm, an immortal sword appeared, the immortal slaying Shura. As soon as immortal killing Shura appeared, he showed a terrifying killing light, which instantly made everyone change their color. Brush. Immortal killing Shura slashed forward, the void was split open, many strange phenomena bloomed, and Wei Ya came to the world. Naturally, Xia Tenglong would not sit still and wait for death. His quasi-immortal sword burst out and blocked Qin Feng's immortal killing Shura. For a moment, the sword light here was earth-shattering, and the sword light from the collision spread in all directions. The ground was affected, even with the blessing of the formation, the waves spread out, shaking in all directions. Here, the true disciples and geniuses had to fight against them with all their strength. Their surge of divine power made the entire space tremble. Qin Feng had made up his mind to get rid of Xia Tenglong. He waved the immortal killing Shura, and the body of the God King surrounded him, causing the void to collapse, the heaven and earth trembling, and the power of the God King fully exploded. The first move to kill an immortal. Qin Feng let out a soft cry in his heart. He used his first move to kill the immortal, and a red sword light appeared in the air, instantly consuming the void and forming a huge space crack. The 8 immortal killing moves of the lower-level immortals were used for the first time, cutting through the void. The terrifying sword energy spread here, and some monks were affected in an instant. They were cut open in an instant and disappeared here. In mid-air, Xia Tenglong was very solemn. He waved the quasi-immortal sword in his hand, exuding a peerless edge, and he felt panic in his heart. Qin Feng's skills are blessed with strength. At this moment, he is standing in the Nine Forbidden Realm. There is only this long sword in the sky, and the light that blooms seems to be the only one in the world. Such a heaven-defying swordsmanship, such a powerful weapon, as if the god of death had come, Tang Xiaotenglong instantly lost his countenance. Bang! Qin Feng directly slashed Xiaotenglong's quasi-immortal sword with the immortal killing Shura. The whole area was shaking, and the mysterious light shone, making many people's bodies feel pain. Qin Feng is like a god king, with dazzling light all over his body, and his blood and dragon energy soaring into the sky, covering the sky and the sun. And Xiaotenglong is also the body of Yaksha, reaching the sky and the earth. He steps on mysterious steps, as fast as lightning, and dodges in an instant. The immortal killing Shura collided with the quasi-immortal sword, and the sword energy and sword light fell down in the void, ripples bloomed, tearing apart the world, as if to open up the world. At this moment, Xiaotenglong was no longer detached, his arms were shaking violently and spasming. Just now he seemed to have blocked Qin Feng's blow. However, under the blessing of the Nine Forbiddens, the power of this blow was like a volcanic eruption, which was unbearable for him. Although he is also a demon body, his Yaksha demon body is not as rich in energy and blood as Qin Feng's God King body, which leads to Luo Feng. Swallow the heaven and the earth. Xiaotenglong shouted angrily, and energy surged around him. Wisps of spiritual energy from heaven and earth gathered towards him. His body shook violently, and his divine power erupted like a volcano. In an instant, runes bloomed in Yaksha's demonic body, and his whole body became dazzling, with black and white lights intertwined, lines flowing on his body, and the vision merged with the physical body in an instant, turning into a towering figure. Brush. God-slaying sword technique. Xiaotenglong shouted angrily, vision surrounded him, and the sword energy came rushing in, splitting the void. It really had the power to kill gods and demons. The quasi-immortal sword used the god-slaying sword technique, and Sun Jian cut through the heaven and the earth, with unparalleled power. Qin Feng waved his sword to block it, and collided with the opponent forcefully. Divine power surged between the two of them, and a loud noise was heard. Then the two of them flew out decisively, and were separated at the edge of the small world, separated by an endless distance. This small world is large enough to accommodate thousands of people fighting. However, at this time, the bombardment of the two people spread over a wide area, making the place become crowded. Brush. Qin Feng stepped on the immortal walk, and in an instant, he came to Xiaotenglong, and his immortal killing Shura slashed out again. Second immortal killing style. With the blessing of immortal killing Shura and Nine Forbiddens, the second immortal killing style sealed the heaven and earth with nearly 100 times the energy, instantly locking Xiaotenglong's body. Xiaotenglong stood on top of the sky, his body was trembling violently, energy was gushing out like a volcano, and he was trying his best to resist. Under this attack, his quasi-immortal sword collided with Qin Feng's sword, and then his whole body became bad. His arms instantly turned into blood mist, becoming extremely terrifying. Ah! Xiaoteng roared in the void, surrounded by demonic flames, his eyes were cold and terrifying, and he spit out more than a dozen mouthfuls of blood. His arms were smashed by Qin Feng, and a little bit of blood dripped, shocking everyone. Gudong. Whether outside or inside the field, everyone gasped. Apart from the quasi-saints in other areas, the battle in Qin Feng's area was the most exciting. At this time, people were all terrified when they saw Xiaotenglong with broken arms. Such fighting power was rare in the world. He fought against the enemy across a large realm and injured the first prodigy cultivated by the Xia family, which made people difficult to understand. Refine. Xiaotenglong roared, and the blood he flowed out turned into magic flames, flowing out a fascinating light, causing the sky and the demons to collapse. Endless blood and qi surged and flooded Qin Feng, covering the sky and the sun. Qin Feng had no way to avoid it, and was shrouded by the magic flames and blood. However, he was fearless. With the blessing of the God King body, his body instantly reached the 9th forbidden level. A golden bell-like shield surrounded a real dragon and emerged, surrounding him. At this moment, Qin Feng was extremely bright, and the golden light was shining in the magic flame, which was very sacred. Even if the magic light flowing from Xia Tenglong's blood was extremely scary, the cultivators who could refine the mountain-moving realm could not break Qin Feng's defense. Such a terrifying magic flame could not break the golden bell cover on Qin Feng's body, which made all the cultivators watching the battle shudder. Warm reminder, if you find that clicking the next page will force you to jump to other websites, please use the chapter error or contact us at the bottom to inform us. We will deal with it as soon as possible. Thank you for your understanding. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 307. The golden bell of the dragon symbol surrounds Qin Feng, and the golden light is dazzling, illuminating the heaven and earth. The magic flames flowed with all their strength, and the fire was soaring, but they could not break Qin Feng's defense, which made Xia Tenglong unable to control himself. "Ah! I'm going to kill you." Xia Tenglong was angry and made a loud noise. Qin Feng was so terrifying that his body had been shattered and his arms were seriously injured. His face was extremely pale, he was coughing up blood, and his eyes were red. At this moment, Xia Tenglong's wings moved forward, replacing his broken arm. Then, he was filled with a terrifying aura. If a demon king was repeating it, his magic power became overwhelming and his momentum was rising. Qin Feng's heart trembled. Xia Tenglong's power exceeded his expectations. He obtained the means by killing immortals without dying. It was definitely beyond the reach of ordinary people. The opponent is only stronger than Qin Yi, and can even be said to be stronger. After all, Xia Tenglong is the #1 genius that the Xia family has worked hard to cultivate, and he is indeed extremely powerful. You want to kill me, but you are too weak. Qin Feng smiled faintly. He waved the immortal killing Shura again and slashed forward. Cracks spread in the void, which was indeed terrifying. Immortal killing Shura penetrated the sky and hit Xia Tenglong suspended in the sky. Everyone felt Qin Feng's cold murderous intent. Brush, brush. Xia Tenglong's wings bloomed, and the sword light flowed out all over the sky, slashing towards Qin Feng, and the aura that covered the sky and the sun swept across all directions. At this moment, his wings replaced his arms, and the sharp edge he displayed was able to kill the monks who could move the mountain to perfection, and made the observing monks all change their colors. This kind of power is enough to kill people invisible. Originally, people thought that Xia Tenglong's combat effectiveness would be greatly reduced since his wings replaced his arms. But what is unexpected is that Xia Tenglong's combat power has not become weaker, but has become stronger. Ordinary people will definitely be chopped to pieces when faced with such an attack. Here, the energy is soaring, and the immortal killing Shura is like a red dragon flying across the sky. All the 10,000 sharp edges shot by Xia Tenglong were chopped into pieces by Qin Feng, unable to hurt him at all. Immediately afterwards, Xia Tenglong's sharp edge spread in all directions, blooming with extremely terrifying power, like the devil coming to the world. Black shadows and silver light intertwined, making the place appear like ghosts, like Shura sea of blood, making the place dark and terrifying. Qin Feng's divine king vision illuminated an area. Immortal killing Shura was so powerful that he even looked more like Shura than Yaksha. At this moment, Qin Feng swung his sword again, exuding a terrifying and sinister aura. The third of the 8 immortal killing styles, the sword energy surged wildly, and its power was earth-shattering, making Xia Tenglong's light blade disappear into the invisible. The monks who watched here could no longer stand the crowd and tried their best to protect themselves. Qin Feng's sword skills were superb and so powerful that their skin was about to burst. They felt Qin Feng's immortal killing Shura, and their whole bodies were as cold as if they had descended into the 18 hells. Qin Feng was clearly a god king, looking extremely powerful and sacred. However, when he held killing Shura in his hand, The aura that filled the air was like Shura's in this world, crushing everything. When the momentum in the void dissipated invisible, Xia Tenlong was no longer Qin Feng's opponent. He was horrified to death. At this moment, Qin Feng has not yet established himself in the Forbidden Realm, but his combat power has increased several times compared to when he fought Qin Yi. Invincible will. Qin Feng has an invincible will. His energy and spirit have been rising steadily during the battle. He has established himself in a terrifying field and will only get stronger as he fights. The momentum waxes and wanes. Qin Feng becomes more courageous as he fights. This is really terrifying. People in the audience were excited. The battle between Qin Feng and Xia Tenlong had already decided the winner. In the strange confrontation, Qin Feng completely gained the upper hand and suppressed the opponent's Yaksha demonic body. In the confrontation between swordsmanship and swordsmanship, Qin Feng also completely had the advantage, and his energy and spirit were rising steadily, and he had already suppressed Xia Tenlong. At this moment, if the fight continues, there will be no surprise. Xia Tenlong will definitely lie down here. Qin Feng is so powerful that it is unimaginable. Under this blow, Xia Tenlong was knocked backwards by Qin Feng and hit the wall of the small world. His face was like gold paper and his heart was horrified. It is clear that Yaksha's wings are in perfect harmony with his own. At this time, the combat power has been multiplied several times, but he is still no match for Qin Feng, making him afraid of being confident. Why are you so strong? You're obviously just a contemplative monk. Not only Xia Tenlong didn't want to believe it, but Qin Feng's fighting power was not in line with common sense. Everyone present was frightened. If this continued, Qin Feng might be the only one left in the field. Qin Feng's power is enough to suppress all the geniuses here, and he is the well-deserved number one among these areas. Haha, if you want to regain face for your Xia family, you should go back and practice for a few more years. Qin Feng's mouth showed a sarcastic smile, irritating the other party. Otherwise, the other party would just give in and escape, and then they would lose the opportunity to kill him. Qin Feng's words sounded, making the place silent. Everyone wanted to know what Xia Tenlong would do. Although there was silence here, there was a lot of noise in the audience, and countless monks were surprised. Xia Tenlong, who was extremely strong before, has already fallen behind in the battle with Qin Feng. If he continues to fight, he may be at risk of falling. At this time, the head of Xiaji's family couldn't calm down. Qin Feng was so powerful that he actually suppressed the number one genius that their Xia family had cultivated with all their strength. This made him unbelievable. At the same time, he also saw that Xia Tenlong was no longer Qin Feng's opponent. At this moment, he hoped that Xia Tenlong would take the initiative to admit defeat and come back to practice for a few more years. Otherwise, if the battle continued, Xia Tenlong would die here, which would be a great loss for their Xia family. You know, Xia Tenlong is different from Xia Yun and Xia Yuxia of the Xia family. He is a real genius. One person is enough to match dozens of disciples of their Xia family. If he dies here, it would be a waste. At this time, Xia Tenlong had already killed blood. Qin Feng's words provoked him and made him furious. Silver Wing Sword. Suddenly, Xia Tenlong shouted angrily, and an extremely violent aura flowed around his body. The black scales on his body instantly turned silver and burst into brilliant light. Then, he put his wings together, and the whole person turned into a silver sword, flowing out of the extreme intent, rushing towards Qin Feng. At this moment, Xia Tenlong's face was covered with a cold expression. His wings were close together, turning into a fairy sword, stabbing at Qin Feng's vitals, unleashing the most powerful attack. Idiot! Qin Feng sneered. He was waiting for this moment. If Xia Tenlong ran away without knowing his own strength, he would be in trouble. At this moment, Xia Tenlong took the initiative to attack, and he would fall directly here. Pa, the golden fist finally hit Gu Lishan's dragon claws, and a dazzling light shone between heaven and earth, and gold and purple rushed into the sky. This was like Tai Chi giving birth to two yin and yang, and then colliding, like two volcanoes erupting at the same time. The sky and the earth were golden and purple, and a gorgeous scene. The earth was silently annihilated, and a huge deep pit appeared. The two energies smashed the red earth into ash, and a large area disappeared. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 308. Qin Feng was suspended in the void, staring at the people surrounding him, with a sneer on his lips. Here, an earth-shattering war is about to break out. Among these dozen areas, only the scene here is the hottest. Because, in the field where Qin Feng was, a melee broke out, and many true geniuses joined forces to fight against Qin Feng alone. These people were all at the level of moving mountains. They cautiously surrounded Qin Feng, their momentum was surging and unprecedentedly high. However, what is strange is that no one dares to take action against Qin Feng yet, because not long ago, Qin Feng said that he showed such amazing strength that even the genius of the Xia family was defeated and died, and no one wanted to be the first to stand out. Everyone come together. The monk who suggested it before spoke again. He took the lead and struck down with a palm like a mountain, pressing it down hard. This seemed to cause a chain reaction. In an instant, countless people greeted Qin Feng. The void was shaking, and their fighting spirit was soaring to the sky. Damn it, Qin Feng has finally come to an end. He has aroused public anger and become the target of public criticism. It seems that he is going to lose. Countless monks in the martial arts arena were very unfavorable to Qin Feng. You must know that the first 100 people to attack were all monks from the mountain moving realm. They were so powerful that even the monks from the divine light realm could not stop these people from attacking with all their strength. Buzz. At this time, people discovered that Qin Feng seemed not to sense anything at all. He stood calmly in the void, looking at everyone with disdain in his eyes. I'll go, is Qin Feng scared out of his wits? How can he put on such a posture? The expressions of countless people changed instantly. Qin Feng's calm posture made them very confused. Since you all want to get out of here, then I will help you. Originally, Qin Feng was planning to let these people fight and the winner would stay on the field, but now these people joined forces to besiege him, and their path was narrowed. Qin Feng has decided not to let go of anyone who attacks him. Buzz. Qin Feng stepped on the immortal walk and stood in the 9 forbidden realm. He turned into a stream of light and his body was about to fade away. At this time, Qin Feng suddenly stood in the invincible realm, and the divine ban was triggered. A golden bell was buckled on Qin Feng's body, and brilliant runes flowed out, like a golden bell cover. Qin Feng, who was about to avoid it, stood there with a sneer on his lips. He allowed all the attacks to hit him. Clang clang clang. There are endless sounds here, the holy power is brilliant, the energy is rioting, and terrifying vibrations spread. However, when everything calmed down, just when everyone thought Qin Feng had been reduced to rubbish, some people turned their attention to the Death Talisman formation area, trying to find Qin Feng's voice. Still in the field. Someone roared, and then there was a gasp of air. People found that Qin Feng was still suspended in the void, and his white clothes were fluttering completely unimpeded. Ah, Master is really scary. Zhou Qing'er, who was sitting in the same area as Elder Zuluo, patted his high chest and let out a long sigh of relief. It was really scary just now. On the side, Wang Shui was also a little nervous. She clutched the corner of her clothes tightly, obviously very worried. As for Xiao Lun, he was even more confused. Qin Feng's performance was that of a monster, unmatched by anyone, and he was convinced. Nima, I can withstand such an attack without any harm, so how can I fight? Many people exclaimed and felt chills in their bodies. Qin Feng blocked the attack of hundreds of mountain-moving monks. How could they resist it? In the auditorium outside the venue, countless monks stared at the area where Qin Feng and the others were, with folded eyes. Their fighting situation had surpassed that of the quasi-sage who said they were fighting in the area, which made people want to see the final result. Qin Feng swung out the immortal sword, and a powerful sword energy immediately exploded in the void. Without any hesitation, he directly used the immortal sword blessed by the divine Forbidden City. The sharp sword energy whizzed past, and Qin Feng's immortal sword showed its sharp edge. It instantly cut out a beam of light dozens of feet long, locking the 8 strong men in the front. The sword energy of the absolute immortal sword is like a waterfall falling down, the void collapses, and it expands its unparalleled divine power. Dang, poof. This sword flew across the air and instantly cut off the weapons in the hands of the 8 strong men. Their figures penetrated the cracked gold and stone, and their swords roared into the sky. Immediately afterwards, the sword energy rushed past, tyrannically and powerfully cutting the 8 people in half and disappearing here. Hiss. Everyone who survived the scene was numb. 8 powerful monks were killed with one sword. Everyone understood that Qin Feng had few opponents among young people. If you want to join forces to deal with me, then you will all be disqualified. Qin Feng said coldly. He was surrounded by the vision of the God King, which made him look extremely sacred and powerful. He held the immortal sword and walked in the air. The sword energy was shattered and everything blocked it. Brush. Qin Feng is brave, his black hair is flying, and he is holding the immortal sword and turning down again. This area was almost exploded by Qin Feng. The sword light he swung out was dozens of feet long. Every time the sword energy fell, it was like a waterfall. Every time the absolute immortal sword attacks, the cultivator's protective magic weapon will be shattered, unable to stop him at all. Stop him quickly. Everyone present was terrified. Qin Feng was so powerful that in just a short time, he had already wiped out more than 20 of the most powerful mountain-moving monks. If they continue like this, they will definitely lose and be killed by Qin Feng alone, becoming the undisputed number 1 in this field. Everyone present burst out with a terrifying murderous aura. The void here is trembling. All the moves are connected together, and the space is shaking violently, spreading a terrible light. Hundreds of sword chi, knife light, and divine rainbow appeared out of thin air, killing Qin Feng who was flying in the air. The murderous aura here is icy and piercing, illuminating this world and sweeping across the world. One sword rises the dragon. Qin Feng said lightly, and he stood in the forbidden area again. A red dragon appeared in the air. With the blessing of the forbidden area, it was hundreds of feet long, flowing with sword chi all over the sky, shaking the void. Puff, puff, puff. The red dragon flew across the sky, with thousands of times the power, dominating the world in the void. In an instant, the red dragon was like a no-man's land, turning the rivers and seas upside down here, and the sword energy was soaring. The dragon energy was like the arrival of winter, and the sword energy here was whistling, and nearly 100 people were smashed in an instant. One after another, dozens of figures appeared in the area where the death substitute formation was located. They all stood there in shock. Qin Feng's sword made them feel like they were facing the power of heaven and earth. The sword light swept through the void. If a real dragon came, people would be terrified to death and could not resist. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 309. Everyone who survived the scene was terrified. Qin Feng was so domineering and so powerful that he crushed nearly 100 people. At this moment, everyone spread out and surrounded Qin Feng, forming a circle. A total of 800 monks in the realm, sharing the same hatred, roared up, their murderous aura making the place bone-chilling. The Divine King's body is indeed terrifying. In such a killing situation, it can actually kill nearly 100 people. I really don't understand how the ancient Qin clan could not be favored by such a divine son. This can only be said that the ancient Holy Land sometimes makes mistakes, but it is obvious that the Suzaku Holy Land has found a treasure. Originally, everyone thought that Qin Feng would never survive the siege of nearly 100 people. This was a doomed situation. But Qin Feng not only survived, but also killed nearly 100 people. What kind of peerless combat power was this? At this time, there were nearly 800 monks here. They surrounded Qin Feng, their swords were flying into the sky, and they were all ready to use their killing skills. Qin Feng's surroundings are all blocked, and there is no blind spot. How can we guard against such a situation? This was nearly 8 times the amount of killing before. 800 mountain-moving monks attacked together. How could Qin Feng be so powerful? However, Qin Feng was suspended in the void, with a sneer on his lips, not caring. At this moment, he was standing in the forbidden realm of the gods, and whether it was skills or weapons, he had the ability to add nearly 1,000 times more energy. The power of his energy was far beyond what these people could resist. Divine Forbidden is a state of invincibility. In this state, he is already in an invincible position, comparable to Qin Feng's Pangu horn. The only pity is that this divine ban cannot be triggered as easily as the 9 bans, so it is not blessed with 1,000 times the power every time. Brush. 800 mountain-moving monks, their divine light soared to the sky and the earth, bursting out with unparalleled majestic murderous aura, pressing forward. Buzz. Qin Feng God's body is strange. His body surrounds the real dragon, reaching the sky and moving the earth, lighting up this place like an eternal divine bell. Countless weapons and magic weapons all hit his body and overwhelmed him. He stared at the huge pressure and flew forward on the immortal walk. Qin Feng's speed was too fast. The immortal walking steps sublimated under the divine prohibition, transformed into a beam of light, and rushed forward. Puff. Qin Feng waved the immortal sword and rushed past. The sword flashed and chopped the 10 strong men into pieces before disappearing here. Hiss. On the martial arts field, everyone no longer knew what expressions to make. Qin Feng was staring at the attack of 800 people, but he could still kill a dozen people with force. Is this justified? Brush. Qin Feng took action again, and the immortal sword in his hand vibrated, knocking away countless magic weapons. The sword energy was like a dragon, covering the sky. At this moment, Qin Feng is very confident. They are invincible in the forbidden realm of the gods. The magic sword and magic weapon cannot break his defense at all. However, this divine forbidden realm is not without time limit. The stronger the attacking enemy, the shorter the divine forbidden zone can last. Qin Feng wants to kill everyone within a limited time, so they are disqualified. Puff. Qin Feng's Chuexian sword transformed into a red dragon again, splitting dozens of monks apart. With one sword, the rising dragon was invincible, and he transformed into a red dragon and rushed past. On the spot, dozens more people turned into blood mist and disappeared here. In the auditorium, everyone watching the battle was shocked. So many monks were still attacking forcefully, but Qin Feng was able to kill them powerfully despite the pressure, which made people uneasy. At this moment, Qin Feng was neither happy nor worried. These people brought it upon themselves. If he wanted to expel himself, he could only expel them. Made fights. I block him, you take the opportunity to attack. A 26 or 7-year-old monk shouted angrily. He had long black hair and sharp eyes. His name was Fang Ling, and he was a true disciple of the Suzaku Holy Land. Kylan Seal. As the words fell, a divine seal appeared in the void. The figure was like a mountain, turning into a big unicorn in the void and suppressing it. Dream. Qin Feng's heart skipped a beat. This man had 2 attacks. With this desperate blow, his strength increased several times, making him feel a little dangerous. Moreover, Qin Feng realized that he was about to fall out of the Forbidden Realm. If he could not deal with this person first, the next battle would not be easy. God King Seal. Ye Fan let out a soft sigh, and he struck out with the immortal sword in his left hand and the Divine King Seal in his right hand. The God King Seal is like a sacred mountain rising across the sky, with a ray of light blocking the unicorn in the sky. It has unparalleled huge pressure. Boom! The God King Seal collided with the Kylan Seal and exploded all of a sudden. The God King's mountain turned into a large energy wave and flew in all directions. At the same time, the superpowers of the seniors in the Divine Forbidden Realm also tore Kylan apart with his bare hands, turning it into an energy storm, and a beast roar could be heard. Qin Feng frowned. The opponent's Kylan Seal looked like a real one. It was so powerful that he could almost compete with himself. It's a pity. You should have been among the top 10 in the region. Qin Feng shouted loudly, the corners of his mouth curved, and he stepped on the immortal walk and turned into a bolt of lightning and rushed over. Kylan Vision. Fang Ling shouted loudly, and Sun Jian's Kylan Seal became one with himself. This Kylan Seal turned out to be his Kylan Vision. Roar. Fang Ling roared, his whole body shone with light, and the unicorn claws carried a bolt of lightning, which caused the void in front of him to collapse. He rushed in front of Qin Feng. I don't believe in the Divine King's body, it's really so terrifying. Fang Ling and the Kylan Vision merged into one, his whole body was full of vigor, his divine fire was around his body, and lightning was intertwined around him, dazzling and dazzling. Then you try it? Qin Feng stood in the void, his whole body was shining with golden light, and the real dragon was around his divine body, as if the God King was alive. Pa! The God King Seal collided with the opponent's Kylan Seal again, and a dazzling light was emitted between heaven and earth. The divine power was like a volcanic eruption. A huge deep pit appeared here, and some magic weapons were instantly shattered into powder. You can't. Qin Feng shook his fingers, stepped on the immortal step, and disappeared here in an instant. Just when Qin Feng disappeared, a large number of magic weapons hit the place where Qin Feng had just been, and the space was shaking. It's unknown whether the deer will die easily. Fang Ling was not to be outdone. He turned into a divine body for dozens of feet, as if Ping's real Kylan was resurrected. Thunder and lightning were intertwined here, and the surrounding situation was overwhelming, and the horror was boundless. Pa! Suddenly, Fang Ling's Kylan claws clapped, and he turned into a residual image. There was a loud bang in the void, and he came to the sky above Qin Feng. All the claw marks hit Qin Feng's body, and the sound of thunder and lightning broke out here, which was extremely dazzling. Now, as Fang Ling's voice fell, all the attacks, as if they didn't care about their lives, greeted Qin Feng, drowning Qin Feng, and the divine power was surging. It's broken. Suddenly, Qin Feng was startled, and the light shield around him was shattered, and he fell from the forbidden area of the gods. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 310. The killing power is surging, all attacking towards Qin Feng. The killing styles here are intertwined, the light is bright and breathtaking. At this moment, Qin Feng felt awe-inspiring in his heart. He fell from the divine forbidden realm and triggered the 9 forbidden realms in an instant. However, at this moment, all the huge killing moves were directed at him. Bang! Energy waves like landslides and tsunamis surged in, and Qin Feng felt like he was being bombarded by 10 ancient sacred mountains. Even with the blessing of dozens of times the defense power of the 9 forbidden realm, he couldn't bear it. He flew straight up and hit the boundary wall of this area. Puff! Qin Feng coughed up blood directly, and the blood bloomed with a faint blue fluorescence, flowing with brilliant essence. Qin Feng's blood contains a lot of life essence. His energy and blood are like a dragon. This is a manifestation of the divine power of the God King's body. The divine power surges in the void, and his black hair dances wildly, like the arrival of a demon. Town! Qin Feng shouted loudly, and his voice sounded like divine thunder in this area. Terrifying rays of light emanated in all directions, and wisps of whirlwind of energy condensed around him. Along with the energy and blood of a dragon, he looked like a god and a demon. Qin Feng is not invincible, let's kill him together. Qin Feng was injured, and in an instant, hundreds of talented people around him saw hope. Qin Feng, your death has come. Fang Ling's face was filled with a cold smile. He suppressed Qin Feng with the Kylin seal. Hundreds of monks took action, hurting Qin Feng and allowing all of them to see the opportunity. In the audience, Zhou Qing'er and Wang Shui's beautiful eyes were full of worry. They couldn't believe what was happening in front of them. Since the two of them met Qin Feng had rarely been injured. At this moment, he was beaten until he vomited blood, which made the two of them extremely worried. Boy, you totally pissed me off. Qin Feng stood in the void, surrounded by the 9 forbidden realms. Although he was not as invincible as the Holy Realm, he was far from what the monks in the Moving Mountain realm could match. His combat effectiveness was not greatly affected. As long as he dodges before the opponent's combined attacks, he can defeat them one by one and eliminate them all. Brush! At this moment, Qin Feng stepped on the immortal walk and held the immortal sword in his hand. He stepped out instantly and his speed reached the extreme. Qin Feng waved the immortal sword in his hand, the space was cut open, and a bright sword energy emitted from the air. The aura was so overwhelming that everyone was frightened. Puff! With the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, the immortal walk reached its extreme speed, and Qin Feng turned into a flash of light and rushed past. With a pop, Fang Ling let out a shrill scream, and his entire arm was almost cut off by Qin Feng. Blood spurted out instantly, Fang Ling was sweating profusely, and his figure flashed quickly, moving away from Qin Feng. If he hadn't stepped on the Suanbu to hide at the critical moment, he might have said goodbye to his arm. At this moment, Fang Ling was filled with shock and anger. He never expected that after Qin Feng suffered injuries from attacks by hundreds of monks, he would still have such a powerful fighting force. He almost lost one of his arms. The relationship between the two, the gap is really too big. Boy, compared with me, you are like a firefly and a bright moon. Qin Feng shouted loudly. He turned into a bolt of lightning and rushed forward, taking advantage of the situation to pursue him. This Fang Ling was the leader. As long as he killed Fang Ling first, the remaining people would not be able to organize themselves and would be nothing more than a pile of scattered sand. Qin Feng's divine king body burst out with brilliant divine light, and the void in front of him collapsed when he struck with the immortal sword. He suddenly rushed in front of Fang Ling again. Brush! Another sword split open the void, and the space was pulled apart like a rag, and then black waves spread out, which was extremely scary. Fang Ling was shocked. He used the Kylin seal with his backhand to hit Qin Feng's sword light. A dazzling light burst out in mid-air. The silver sword energy and Kylin essence soared into the sky. The two moves' divine power was like a volcano erupting. The place was gorgeous. A huge deep pit appeared on the ground. It was hit by the energy of the two people. The collision of the overflowing energy turned the ground into fly ash and disappeared. 4 talented monks were affected and disappeared directly into the air, and were directly eliminated. Kill! Fang Ling roared, and he became one with the vision, like a dragon crossing the sky, rushing towards Qin Feng, with fierce light flashing all over his body. It's really hopeless. Qin Feng shook his head and swung the immortal sword directly forward, destroying everything. Fang Ling's fists were covered with light blue luster, strong and extraordinary, and had a full set of gauntlet protective gear. Ordinary fairy swords could not break through the defense at all. However, Qin Feng's immortal sword was so powerful that it instantly cut through the opponent's fist, causing his fist to crack inch by inch and blood to flow. Is the God King's body so terrifying? The surrounding Tianjiao monks were all palpitating at this moment. The sacred light blooming from the body of Qin Feng God made them feel as if they were facing gods. Kailan transformation. Fang Ling shouted loudly, and a terrifying energy filled his body. Then his limbs swooped down in the void, making a unicorn shape. His body was covered with scales, and he swooped towards Qin Feng. The shocking murderous aura was so vast that the void was everywhere. Shaking, the space here has become extremely unstable. Buzz. Qin Feng fought with the immortal sword in his hand, and the immortal sword once again shot out a silver light. This sword opened up the void and broke through the sky. Clang clang clang. The sound of metal collisions continued. The two people were fighting each other in the void. The immortal sword and the Kailan seal were shining brightly, the terrifying light bloomed between the heaven and the earth, and the tide of divine power was flowing, hanging like a waterfall. Even with the protection of the Heavenly King's superior treasure armor, Fang Ling couldn't bear it. He kept retreating and was no match for Qin Feng. Kill! Kill! At this time, the hundreds of geniuses floating around looked at the right opportunity, and the mystery was overwhelming, and they were beating towards Qin Feng again. The void was shaking, the smoke and dust in the space were rising into the sky, and everything became unstable. All the lights were aimed at the two of them desperately, and the hundreds of people were all in perfect agreement to shoot down Qin Feng. At this time, they didn't care to pay attention to Fang Ling. Although Fang Ling took the initiative to stop Qin Feng, which was the most effective, the other party was also competing with them, so it would be great if they could take the opportunity to get rid of him together. Here, the energy light like wheat waves is surging, and the divine power in the void is as turbulent as the sea, extremely violent. Ocean-like energy waves were flowing, and powerful winds spread out from the field, making everyone present feel nervous. Boom! Qin Feng and Fang Ling were instantly overwhelmed, and the magic weapon and weapon-killing style shook the heaven and the earth. Fang Ling collapsed instantly. Half of his body was covered in blood and flesh, and the wounds were deep enough to show the bones. The blood stained half of his body red, making him ferocious and scary. The next moment, a beam of light shone in the field, and Fang Ling's body disappeared into the area and was eliminated.